All right, gang, let's get started. Welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday, tips to help grow your online community. So we're really nearing that milestone number of 100 webinars after 2+ years of Webinar Wednesdays. So it's really great that we've been able to stay on top of that and keep these going every 2 weeks. If this is your very first time joining us, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we are lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist here at Brilliant Directories. David, thanks for really taking the time to join us in each and every one of these webinars here.
Absolutely. Good to be back with everybody. This is actually number 96, but yeah, definitely getting closer to that big number 100 there.
Awesome. 96 is the year I graduated from 8th grade, so okay. I always like to mention, if you're not already part of our Facebook group, head on over to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. It's one of the best places to join us in between Webinar Wednesdays. There's lots of productive conversations in there. If you have questions, you can ask them in there. I'm in there myself, and I know a lot of the attendees here joining us in the webinar there as well. You can get a lot of value. So if you want to just take a second right now to go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and click on that blue join button. Everyone is welcome. And I always like to mention, especially for those joining us for the first time, you know, the reason we created Webinar Wednesday was a way to, one, answer questions if you have them on how to use the software, but also to demonstrate some of the new features that are released to help you really leverage them to help grow your online community. So we'll definitely show off some of the new features that are built in week after week. And we'd like to show you how they can help you do things such as increase traffic, converting visitors to members, and I always like to mention my favorite, improving the website's navigation. That's the flow that the visitor goes through when they come to your homepage or any page on your site. And we really want to help them reach the finish line, whether that's joining your newsletter, signing up for a free or paid membership, or potentially downloading a lead magnet such as an ebook, so you can capture that email address and bring them into your ecosystem. So if you have questions on these topics or similar topics, we'll do our best to get to as many as we can real soon. All right, and we have a few BD lab updates. Normally we show things that have just recently been released and that are coming soon. Here I just wanted to show some things that are just on the cusp of being released from the QA department, the quality assurance department, and will be available live for everyone. I've showed off a couple of these. Just gonna go through them and some of the newer ones here. The first one, which will be available for everyone, are just a few draggable content blocks when you're building out your web pages. And I can show you just a quick example of what that would look like. It's really simple. When you go to maybe the admin area and you want to add or edit an existing static web page, I'll just click on New Web Page here. You know, normally you'd come here and you'll start using the toolbar to kind of create different sections for your landing page. You might insert a table for 2 columns, put an image on this side and whatnot. But what we've done is, what's coming soon, let me just get rid of all this, you'll have in the sidebar here something called draggable content blocks. And we're not going to overwhelm this with, you know, hundreds of available content blocks, just some basic things that we know are used most when you're creating a landing page. So you'll be able to just simply drag one of these here, and it'll just put the pre-made content block here for you, so you can easily add your own text, your own images to here. Here's one with the image on the left and the text on the right. If you wanted to create like a feature list, you can certainly do so. You can replace the text with an image. So this should just help streamline the page builder process, making it a little simpler, especially when you're just trying to you know, list some maybe benefits of some features and things like that. So we're looking forward to that being released soon. This one I don't have an example of, but it's really good for security. If you have guest admins or staff members working on your site with you, you know, there are times where an account may be compromised, or you've maybe let somebody go and you've removed them from the site, or you're transferring who's managing the account. You can force log out any other sessions that where other computers or devices they may be logged into, and then go ahead and change the password so that you can have peace of mind that whoever was logged in before to one of the admin accounts on your site definitely is not logged in now, and by resetting the password, that older person won't be able to log back in. So this is really a good security update that's coming down the line, and it should be available shortly. Another one that we see in the Facebook group a lot is, you have top level categories, sub level, and sub levels. We've recently made it really easy to delete a top level category and maybe move the existing members to another top level category on your site. What we are releasing soon is the ability to move sub categories underneath other subcategories. So if you have some rearranging to do on your category structure, right now really the only way to do it is delete the category, add a new one, and then find a way to move members to that new category. So this will make it a little bit more fluid and allow you to, maybe you're consolidating your categories, you're getting rid of some of them, you want to put members to new category structure that you've created. This is going to be available for everyone, and it's just going to create a much better experience and make moving categories and moving members between categories a whole lot easier and more fluid. 2 add-ons coming down the line. I've showed this one. This was just on the cusp. We're days away from releasing this one, the global website search add-on. Essentially, right now, if you want to do a search on your site, you have to search one type of content at a time. You're either doing a search for members or you're only searching for coupons. With this, it's going to provide a quick way to search all the content on the site, members and all the different post types based on keyword, to see what the website has in it. So, you'll have a page like this that just shows all the results. But if I search for something like massage, so I want to search the whole site, I want to find everything that has massage in it. This site doesn't have a whole lot of content, but you can get the point. So we have 9 member profiles and 1 classified that has the word massage in it. So this will be a great way to, maybe you want to have this in your header area for a search, because that way visitors can quickly search the entire site for a keyword. And what I really like about this is it's going to provide the visitor with more results. So they'll be clicking around your site more, spending more time on your site, and probably finding more what they're looking for, because searching by keyword, they might not know what they're looking for. So this better organizes the content and helps them get to that finish line of discovering content on your site. So I think we're days away from this, releasing this. We just have to update some documentation, and we made some final changes. But this will be an add-on, and if you have the VIP add-ons club, you would have this automatically once it's released. There is another add-on coming down the line. It's called Post Carousel Slider. And we are all familiar with the homepage streaming options. You can stream coupons on your homepage, members, categories, and they're always going to be right now in this grid view, which works fine. Maybe sometimes you want to show, a grid of your categories or a grid of your members. However, with this add-on, the Post Carousel Slider add-on, you'll be able to choose for each section if you want to have kind of like this multi-row format, or if you'd like it to be with an arrow. So you can just slide through the content. It'll be on one row, and you could just slide through the content this way. It's a little bit based on taste and how many other elements you have on your homepage, but this can kind of help keep things nice and tidy here, and it looks nice and clean and modern as well. So that should be released soon. And there's a ton of more updates, many more updates coming down the line. I think next webinar we'll have a lot of them released, and we have a lot more coming soon. What I'd like to do is maybe take a question or two if you have about these things that are coming soon.
Jeff did ask if the global website search add-on will work for location-based queries. I just wanted to make it clear that that add-on will basically provide a new search module for keyword searches. And so when somebody types in a keyword, they'll be presented with all of the search results from your website, whether it be member listings or any kind of post type.
Yeah, that's good to know. So this is specifically, by default, it's just a single keyword input field. However, Jeff, we did make it to support additional get parameters in the URL. So if you did happen to include if you did customize this search widget and added your own location field to search, the results should respect that location parameters as well, to my knowledge. But by default, we've just released it with keyword because we know all the post types and the members at least share searching by keyword, as opposed to like price range slider for job salaries and things like that. So we kept it real simple to start, but you could explore adding additional search fields here that could complement and also search the other post types as well. All right, and this brings us to this week's tip of the week. And especially if you have like a local business directory or an industry-specific directory, I think this tip of the week will definitely be a good refresher for everyone. We're going to focus on, and David's done a wonderful job putting this checklist together. 5 things members really want to see and get out of their business listing, especially when they're paying to be part of your directory, maybe with an upgraded listing. So David, if it's okay with you, I'd like to pass it over, and maybe you could take us through some of these 5 things that we've listed here.
Yeah, definitely. So with everything that's been going on in the world recently, business directories have, of course, always been a popular form of membership site and online directory, but they've become even more popular now. We've seen both local and national directories. And so often with those directory sites, you have businesses coming to register. So we wanted to just provide a little bit of insight into how best to provide services to these members and entice them to upgrade to your premium offerings as well. So the overarching theme to keep in mind here is that with these business members, we want to be able to provide them with some return on their investment. So their investment being the membership fees that they're paying us monthly, yearly, one time, however you might be charging them. And so the 3 concepts that we wanted to point out that you should consider when keeping in mind providing your members with a return on investment is that your members should be receiving some sort of financial gain. Maybe that would be more leads to bring them more business, some sort of other value added, or maybe it's just a convenience gain. If they're lacking an online presence, being registered on your site might provide them with that online presence. And then taking that a step further, if you have some sort of onboarding service or anything like that, that would obviously be a huge convenience gain for a business. So going into this presentation, we'll start to discuss some of the tangible benefits that we can incorporate into these premium business membership plans. So the first one being visibility and referrals or leads. So this goes into that tangible, concrete benefit that the business members will be receiving. So this is typically going to be the primary reason why your business members will be willing to pay for a premium membership over maybe a free membership plan that you're offering, is because they want to have that increased visibility and they want to be getting more leads to hopefully get them more business. And so that will be the biggest return on investment they could possibly get, is if you're providing them with quality leads, more business. And going back to one of the 3 main concepts to keep in mind when considering the business's return on investment that we're going to be providing them is, again, their online visibility. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them to increase their brand exposure. And being on our website, one of the things we can do for them is to increase their exposure, their visibility, and to help drive them more business. So that lead generation aspect, depending on your target demographic, target industry, it'll usually be a really important factor in a business directory. And number 2, helping them, our members, complete their profiles. So this goes into adding convenience to their premium membership plan. We want to make sure that our members have full and complete profiles, not just for our own benefit, because obviously the more information they add to their profiles, the better the SEO value would be on their profiles. And so our website might be listed higher in search results, but that would obviously help the business member as well. And so one of the easiest things we can do to achieve this goal would be just to do a generic screen recording showing how a member would set up their profile page. And then you can publish that video either on YouTube or Vimeo. And then, as we've shown in some of the previous webinars, you can then take that video and embed it right in the members' dashboard. So as soon as they sign up, the first thing they see is how to best complete their profile and get the most out of their membership. So that would be the easiest, kind of most generic thing that you could do to help with this concept. The other thing would be to actually provide some sort of onboarding service. You could either provide this separately from a premium membership, or if the members are already paying for that premium membership, you might want to just provide it as an added bonus to actually speak with them one-on-one. Setting up a profile typically shouldn't take too long, but at least this way, you'll be able to form a stronger connection with these newer members, and you can really make sure that their profiles are loaded to the gills with relevant information and set up properly. If you don't want to do that sort of onboarding thing, then what you can do instead to still try to form that connection with your newer members is to either call them or email them, but preferably call them, maybe a week or two after they sign up, just to check up on them, see how they're progressing with their profile, see if they're seeing any sort of any results from their membership on your website, and just making sure everything's running smoothly with them. If it's not, that's okay. You'll at least be able to try to help them out there on the spot, get them those outcomes that they were looking for, rather than maybe them just canceling on their own and then you losing their membership for good. This would at least provide you with an opportunity to save that sale if there did happen to be any sort of problems. And then one last thing to touch on with this is just to make sure that your member profiles are asking for relevant information for the target industry that your website's serving. So we do offer the default form fields, and those are great default fields, but they are pretty generic. So if you want to go in there and tweak them a little bit, better suit them for your target industry, target demographic, that would be a big help for your members and then also you from an SEO perspective.
And I also want to just dig a little bit deeper into the psychology of this. So you definitely mentioned one of the important things here, David. It helps you establish a direct relationship with the person who you're hoping to receive a recurring income from, for them paying for their listing or their membership on your site. The other benefit, the indirect benefit, is this actually helps with retention. If a business has spent the time to add their photos and their images, and this is exactly how Facebook works and why you don't leave your Facebook profile, is all your history is there, all your photos are there, all your memories are there. It's hard to leave Facebook once you're that invested into it. I don't know if the term is like a high switching cost or like an inconvenience to move somewhere else, but once you've got them invested into their profiles, it's going to greatly reduce, it's going to keep them around a whole lot longer because they feel like they've invested all this time and work and energy. So you're not just helping your site look more complete and their profiles look more complete, as you're really holding their hand and emotionally investing them into participating and being on your site. So keep that in mind. And I also wanted to switch back to number one about visibility and referrals here. So, okay, we forgot to address the most important thing is like, okay, what if you don't know how to bring like the consumers, the end users who are looking for the businesses to the site, or your website just started and okay, you can get the businesses listed, but no one who's looking for the businesses is coming to the site. That's when it's really, really, really important to simplify your site's focus. And what I mean by that is, okay, let's say you set up your site. You loaded it with 300 business categories, right? You got pets in there, doctors, lawyers, plumbers, everything you can imagine under the sun. It's going to be really hard to attract, first of all, businesses from all those categories and fill those categories on your site. But then you have the uphill battle of finding consumers to match with your paying members. Remember, you're creating a marketplace here. I always use Uber as an example. You have drivers and you have riders. And when they enter a city, a new city, they make sure that they have a system to grow the marketplace, the driver and rider marketplace, kind of at the same rate. You want to find riders and drivers that are in the same area. So, maybe you're not an online marketer and you know how to drive lots of consumer traffic to your site, but to help you simplify your process, simplify your site's focus. And the best way to do that is first minimizing the categories on your site, so then you can, whatever efforts you are putting into your marketing, you can make sure that, okay, in this month in September, I'm only going to focus on getting professional lawyer businesses listed and people who are looking for lawyers in my city, or whatever it might be. You're going to set yourself up for success, and you're actually going to be able to eventually deliver for your paying members that connection with the consumers. So if you don't know how to get consumers to your site, that's a separate webinar, but the most important thing is simplify the focus of your site when you're starting out, because that will help you focus your energy and thought process as to who you're going after. So I'll pass it over. We can go to number 3 here, David.
Excellent tips. Yeah, number 3. So this one, we'll be talking about newsletters. Newsletters, the frequency at which you send them really just depends on you. It depends on the target demo, the target industry. A monthly newsletter is usually more than good enough. You don't want to bombard your members with emails. They get enough. As you do, you probably get enough emails as it is. And a monthly newsletter gives you enough time to kind of cultivate enough content to put into the newsletter, and you won't be it won't be as difficult to kind of find good and valuable information to include in there that your members will benefit from. So the purpose of sending out a monthly newsletter is to provide some sort of continual value in addition to the other sorts of value that you'll continuously be providing your members. The thing to remember is your members, you're probably charging them a monthly or an annual fee, so it'll be recurring. So they're going to keep paying you, which means you need to keep providing them with some sort of value. The other thing to keep in mind with the newsletters is the biggest benefit that it will provide to you, the website owner, is that it helps to keep you top of mind with your members. If they go a month without signing in to their account, whether they be a free member or a premium member, if it's a month or 2 months, maybe they go on vacation or they just don't have time to manage their profile right now, they might eventually forget that they have their profile on your website. But if you're sending them a monthly newsletter, that at least can keep them notified and updated and let them know that you're still around, they have a profile with you, and just generally keeps you top of mind. So in the newsletter, you can send tips on how your premium members can get the most value out of the services that you're providing, and then also the value that they're adding to your website. If you allow them to publish content on your website, or if they're replying to all of the leads that they're receiving, that's value added from the consumer side of the website. So recognizing all of that and just giving them general tips on and best practices on how to get the most out of their membership in your newsletter will go a long way. You can also recognize your new premium members in your newsletters. We do this in the Facebook group. Every week we shout out our new members, the new website owners who have joined us over on the Facebook group. And this is a great way just to make other people in your community aware of the new members who have joined, and helps those new members, kind of helps bring them into your community, kind of introduces everybody. The other thing you can do is show how you're helping your members succeed. This could be if you're sending a separate newsletter exclusively to your premium members, then what you might want to do is either include some premium member testimonials or success stories that will keep them engaged and hopefully keep the fire lit underneath them to keep replying to those leads that they're getting, and hopefully that'll bring them some more business. And then the last thing going along with that is just that these newsletters are meant to remind your members that you are appealing to the consumers who need those members' goods and or services, depending on your target industry.
Yeah, Dave, we recently did another tip of the week specifically on newsletters, did we not? I think, yeah, how to develop a newsletter, successful newsletter here. I know with newsletters, it can, for those who aren't familiar with, this is also a good video to watch. And we really talk about some email newsletter tips, what you can include in your newsletters, what you should hope to achieve by sending a newsletter. Really, at the end of the day, you're trying to demonstrate value. But we talk about some specific example newsletters here. So after this webinar, the link that I shared there would also be a good follow-up to watch.
And number 4, you do want to provide, keeping in mind the premium members, you want to provide them with as little competition as possible from your free members. So it is still good to have both free and premium members, but the premium members, since they're paying you for their membership, obviously they're going to expect to get a lot more out of the website than your free members should expect to get. So the way you can prioritize your premium members over your free members, this will depend on the different offerings that you're providing to your members and what you have on your website. But some general ways you can do this are by prioritizing your premium members in search results. So there's an option to set the priority that members show up in your search results. You can also send your premium members more leads than your free members. You can either do this more frequently, or you can send them to your premium members first to kind of give them a head start on replying to those leads and getting back to those potential customers. Or what you could do is you could provide your premium members with either free or discounted leads. Since they're already paying you for their membership, it might make sense to either give them free leads or give them leads at a substantial discount compared to your free members, because your free members, if they're not going to be paying you a recurring fee for the membership itself, and you still want to profit off of them in some way while providing them with a service, you could charge your free members maybe $2, $3, $4, $5 per lead, depending on your industry, and then provide your premium members with either free or discounted leads. So if you're charging free members maybe $5 per lead, your premium members, maybe you want to send them leads for free or maybe for $1. That also shows your appreciation for your premium members, and it lets them know that you are still looking out for their best interest. You're looking out for all your members' best interest, but you are still prioritizing those premium members a little bit. And then the last thing you could do, just one of the generic options, would be to allow your premium members to submit content to you to publish on your site. So you can choose whether or not members can publish content on their own on your website. A lot of website owners prefer to moderate the content before it gets published on their site, which makes a lot of sense. And so you can do that still. You can allow members through their dashboard to write content, and then basically it just saves as a draft, and you can go into the admin and look at all of those yet to be published pieces of content, moderate them if necessary, and then publish them. And then for the free members, because they wouldn't have this ability, that might be one of the benefits that you might want to advertise to the free members to try to get them to upgrade. The thing here, again, we want to keep in mind the premium members' return on investment. So with the free members, because they're not really investing anything other than maybe a little bit of time on the website, they shouldn't expect as much of a return compared to the premium members who actually are paying us some sort of monetary value every month or every year.
And I just want to actually go to the admin area here. These are really, really good points here, David, about prioritizing the premium members and really making them feel like they got a leg up over a regular listing, whether it's free or a lower price. If you go into your admin area and head on over to the membership plans section, and I'm just going to go ahead and edit one of here. So here's basic and premium holistic listings as an example. If you click on edit here, and again, we're gearing this more towards like business directories or industry directories where it's going to be a business listing themselves. But under the additional settings here tab, there is a wealth of things that you can turn on or off on their public profile, showing their website link, showing their social media links, showing their phone number, showing banner ads on their listing in the sidebar, hiding the send message link. There's an add-on for profile statistics, so you can enable the profile statistics, things like that. Turning these on or off, the lower tiered membership plans, maybe it's just a name and a profile photo, and the premium members, they get all their information to show publicly on the listing. So check out, if you haven't fully explored some of the settings here, definitely check them out. The search visibility, their search results priority, where these members show in search results ahead of other members, is a big one. And go ahead.
Last but not least, promoting your premium members. So this would typically take place off of your website, maybe on social media or in your newsletter. But we want to actively provide more visibility to our premium members. So we talked about how we can provide more visibility to them on our website, featuring them on the homepage, prioritizing them in search results, allowing them to publish content on our website. But we also want to help drive more business to them off-site as well. So this could be mentioning them in social media. If you have a separate blog, or if you have a blog on your website, you can mention them in your blog as well. Maybe for premium members who have been with you for 6 months, maybe you want to write a little spotlight article on each of them and publish those in your blog, and then share those on your social networks. That would be a great sign to show your premium members that you are committed to their success. You could share their content on your social media channels as well. Just letting them know that you're always there working for them. They're always paying you some sort of membership fee, so you're always there trying to drive as much business to them as possible. And bonus tip, creating a premium benefits page so your premium members or free members thinking about upgrading to a premium listing know exactly what it is they're going to be receiving from the premium membership plan. So this is essentially where you'd lay out your value proposition. You could create a landing page or static page that clearly outlines exactly what benefits your premium members receive compared to what your free members receive. Explain how your premium members will be receiving more leads, what additional services they'll be getting if you provide any onboarding or featuring them on the homepage or writing up a spotlight article in your blog. This would also be a great place to include 1 or 2 testimonials from some of your premium members, showing that your premium listing does drive more business to these businesses, or whatever your value proposition may be, just reinforcing that through those testimonials. And again, just reinforcing the overall theme here that it all comes down to the business's return on investment. They need to know that you're going to be there delivering a return on their investment, that investment being their premium membership fee.
I actually want to touch on this. I'm going to open up my Microsoft Paint here just to kind of illustrate something here, that basically what we've been talking about here. So, in life, there's something called your love tank, and you fill it with things like family, friends, hobbies, your work, etc. These are things that fill you on the inside with love. So, when it comes to providing your members with value, and not only you want them to pay for the premium listing on your site, but you want to keep them as a recurring member month after month or year after year. So when we think about their value tank, it can come from different things that we mentioned in here. So you might want to do this exercise and figure out how many different ways, or what methods can you provide immediate value, ongoing value. So some of the things we talked about is, providing them with leads and visibility, the newsletters, giving them premium exposure on your site, kind of goes into visibility. Industry tips. We talked about helping them setting up their profiles. So, a personal touch of reaching out and providing them, with that extra care. So you can make a list of different ways, because it's going to be different for everyone in what you're offering, but how can you provide immediate, direct, indirect methods of value for your members? And then you want to make sure that you, as David mentioned in this last slide here, is when you have a landing page that's explaining what the membership will entail, you want to make sure you outline all those benefits that they're going to get as indirect, direct, ongoing, and immediate value that they'll receive. And I think when you lay it out, like this, and publishing a coupon, I see a lot of people when they're creating their features list, they really itemize all the things that the person can do. But what you want to do is maybe have fewer points and highlight what they're going to get out of their profile more than the specific things that they can do on their profile, because there's so many things they can do, especially if you've unlocked a lot of the BD membership plan features for them. That could be a list of 30 or 40 things long. But if you can cut that down to maybe 10 key benefits that they're going to get out of your site, that might have a bigger impact than itemizing 30 or 40 or 50 things that they can specifically do with their profile. But everything is different. But figure out what's going to fill up their value tank. And sometimes it's quality over quantity. It doesn't have to be a lot of things. It could be a few high value things. But if you list this out and figure out what you're going to do to provide value for the businesses that want to be listed in your online directory, you're probably going to have an easier time with your landing page, your sales pitch if you're talking to them over the phone or in person, and really explaining what you're offering to them and what they can get out of it. Because most people, they're going to sign up not just because of the, oh, I'm going to get more money out of this, but there, again, we talked about some indirect things. They're going to, the newsletter can provide them with some not immediate financial benefit, but it can maybe teach them something. So maybe you're teaching them something of value there. So keep that in mind. Maybe make this list for yourself and see how you can add more value besides just the listing on the website. Because if we can expand on that, you're going to have more perceived value. And with the higher perceived value, you can charge a premium for that service or that listing on your website. Well, I know we covered a lot of stuff here. There definitely will be a replay of this. But what we'd like to do now is pass it on over to you guys. If you have any questions about the tip of the week, some of the updates, or your own website, let's take a few questions now, and hopefully we can deliver some happiness and help you guys out. I see Rich has his hand raised here. I'm going to unmute your microphone, Rich. All right, how you doing, Rich?
Great, Jason. How's it going?
Good, good. Thanks for joining the webinar.
Yeah, this is a good one. They're all good, but so quick about cloning or backing up the site. So we had some recent issues that support was able to address. But I know we can do a clone of the full site, but any best practices as far as backing that up, or I know you guys back it up, but if there's a glitch and we don't have access, we could reroute the domain name to a second Brilliant Directory site if we had it cloned.
Okay, so you're talking about running a redundant site.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have anything like that.
Overkill, or?
I wouldn't say it's overkill, but what you may want to do is, it'll never be fully updated, because if it was fully updated, then let's say there was a mistake on the main site, it's going to carry over to the redundant site. What you may want to do, you can back up your site yourself. If you've done something comprehensive and you just want to make sure that that's at least locked in it in time. So here's the article from our support center. I'm going to just share it with everyone here.
That'd be great.
You can get your own backup, and then obviously with this backup, if you have a secondary BD site, you can certainly upload that as the data for that new site. Okay. And just something to touch on when you're downloading a backup, you not only want to do the database, because that's like the data in the database. You also want to make sure you download your image files. So the images that correspond to the member profiles, those are like your JPEGs and your PNGs and whatnot. Right. You want to make sure you download the images as well, and then you're in a good sound place to have a full backup of your data and your files, such as your media, like your images.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I'll check out that link. And then I had a question on this topic. It's about your pricing tables and features and benefits. Can you pull up my site? Because I'd like your honest opinion on how our pricing tables look, and if there's things you see, and it's just podcastersdirectory.com. There's things you feel, honestly, if we should eliminate some stuff, or what makes sense. It's like, that's an obvious under claim your free listing.
Okay. Okay, so here's where I would cut out post events, coupons, videos, blog. So you have like 5 or 6 things here. You may want to consolidate that into one line, like add publish content with your listing, something like that, and just have it on one line. List your website, list your social media. That could be on one line, like list your website and social links. Just consolidate it a bit. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, I try to get these, because look, I have to scroll, right? So you may want to try to, a little scrolling's okay, but now I'm kind of like, I stopped seeing the prices a little bit, and I forget what plan I'm looking at. So, you kind of want to make it so you can see everything. Let me just go to the Brilliant Directories website. If we go to our pricing page, see we kind of keep everything nice and short. We have some overview benefits. Well, the one thing with BD is all the sites come with the same features. So there's just the pricing that's different. But below, we do have like all plans include, and we have like a very long itemized list of the benefits. But just talking about scrolling, you want to make sure that people don't lose sight of what they're looking at.
Yeah, they call it like above the fold, right?
Yeah, you want to try.
The other thought is
fold. Yeah.
Yeah, the other thought is like on one pricing table, and then just say on the next one, everything included in the previous plus.
There you go.
Instead of relisting
everything in the time. Yeah, I really like that, especially when the list is.
But the only challenge with that is when you're on mobile, which 65% of the people are on mobile, then they're not going to see the previous one necessarily. I guess they would, but
well, they'd see it first because the rising star would show first in this example. Yeah. So that's as long as the lower tiered one is on the left side, because that'll be the first on mobile, and then it'll go according to that. So you should be okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right, good questions from Rich there. Thanks for sharing your site. Yeah, definitely want to shorten this up a bit and just make the key benefits a little easier to see rather than a little bit getting lost here with so many benefits to scroll through. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks again, man.
Sure thing. Sure thing. All right, guys. Well, we'll end it there. Great tip of the week. How to attract and keep local business directory members wanting to pay and providing value for them on your site, so they're not just so they get actual results with their investment. Lots of great lab updates. The next webinar is in 2 weeks, so we'll see you in September for the next webinar. And again, join us in the Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. Ask your questions there, start discussions there. It's always a fun place to be. And on behalf of myself, David, thank you so much for joining us on this webinar and the Brilliant Directories family. Have a great day and a brilliant week. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks in the next webinar. Take care.